Product Young, what's going on? I'm just here to show everybody that you guys can get it legally too. You know what I mean? This is the 2021 M760. You know, got the Gucci, got the Rollie. You know, you guys can get it. You don't got to commit crimes to make the money out here, and I'm just here to prove it. You know, straight out the feds and hopping into something like this. You know, just that. You know, let me let you see this V12 thing. You know, 21. This is the most expensive BMW they make. But this ain't it. I'll show you my other one too. That's the second most expensive BMW they make. What's that? M8. M8 competition. You know? Check this out. Look at the interior on this thing. I'm gonna start this up for you so you can hear this beast. Second most expensive BMW they made.
What up, loved ones? What it do? It's Product Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're new to this channel right here, just hit the subscribe button real quick and give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real. So right now, man, I got the homeboy Russ. And man, he started from the bottom, man. And look at him right now. He got a cool ass story. When he was young, it was, you know what I mean? He was just all about his money. He had like 40 something misdemeanors, like 6 felonies. But bam, you're not gonna believe his story right now. And he's here to share his story and experience in life, that to show everyone that, man, there's always a chance and there's always a better way. And here it is, Padre. Can you tell us a little bit something about your experience and what you're doing now, but from before and after?
Yeah, right now, I'm currently I'm currently a real estate investor, and I also do e-commerce and all around entrepreneur. I own 6-7 businesses. I own real estate. I invest in Bitcoin. So I'm an investor, businessman, entrepreneur.
Damn, buddy. So before all of this, you've also had a past. You did time in the feds, 5 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. And
sentenced to 6. You know, in the feds, you do 85% of your time. So I got sentenced to 6 years, did 5 on 6.
For sure. What leads you into that past, the journey of yours on the past? Like, what leads you into prison?
I always liked money. You know, I always liked having nice shit. And like I was saying, I grew up in Tacoma, Washington. You know, Tacoma, Washington, there's a major street element here. You know, the gang culture is prevalent in this city. So as growing up, you know, I'd see guys with the cars, the girls, everything, you know, pulling up in the new cars on the 26s. Back in the day, it was 26s, you know, 7 Series BMWs, and it seemed like they had it all, you know, pockets of money and this and that. You know, I used to sell fake Jordans. And as a kid, I'll sell some fake Jordans to these dudes. And, you know, they always have big stacks of money and shit, you know, buying like 3 pairs, 4 pairs of Jordans, 5 pairs. You know, I'm like, damn, that's what I need to get on. So, you know, as when I got older, I started selling weed. And, you know, the weed money's kind of slow. You know, it was just like I was saying, I was a slave to a cell phone. I was literally the cell phone dictated my life. When the phone rang, that's when I got up in the morning. When the phone stopped ringing, that's when I go to sleep. And that's what I would do all day, is just ride around dropping off weed here and there, you know. And as time went on, you know, I was always fucking up, stealing shit. I was just involved in a life of crime, you know. Anything that I could do, you know, to make money that didn't involve me working, I would do. So I ended up, you know, catching a bunch of different charges, you know, theft, this, that, just a bunch of bullshit. You know, I didn't catch any felony cases at this point. You know, at this point, I'm around 15, 16 years old. You know, I just got my car out there driving around, you know, trying to make money, trying to get a new car, shit like that, you know, because I'm seeing, you know, the cars out here is your trophies, you know. So my weed dude, huh?
No, I was gonna say over here too, your cars.
Yeah.
But
Your
real quick,
what
year are these years that you're talking about?
This is about 2005.
Okay.
2005. So back in 2005. So this is before. So this is when Oxy started kind of catching. You know, this is before. I mean, this is before the Oxys really got big. OxyContin, the opioid epidemic. So my dude, he introduced me to pills, and I'm like, "What the fuck are these things?" He's like, "These are OxyContins." I'm like, "How much do I sell these for?" He's like, $65. I'm like, $65 for this fucking pill? This little ass pill, $65. He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Shit, I'll try, bro." So he fronted me some. So when I got it, I just started calling my people, the people that I was selling weed to. And it turned out that this shit moved. And this shit moved crazier than weed. And the money was crazier than weed. The people come back for 4 times in a day, all day, hitting you up. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even gotta drop it off to them. These motherfuckers will come right to where you're at. These people are like, "Oh, I'm at home. Can you bring it to me?" And, they got 5 other weed dudes to call. So you got to, get out there and drive and drop it off to provide a good service. But with these oxys, it's crazy because they'll come right to you 4 times a day and they're paying all this money for that shit. And you're making $25 a pop. I'm buying the oxys for 40, selling them for 65. I'm making 25 a pop and they're buying 3, 4 at a time. So that back then, that was cool money. So yeah. I'm selling weed and I'm selling oxys, I'm making good money, but I'm really not making the big money like I wanted. Like I see, like I'm not being able to buy no Mercedes and Range Rovers and shit like that. And that's what I really wanted. And one of the things that I actually did, which is a actual key principle to success, now that I realized that I was doing back then, is I envisioned myself as this boss, Mercedes. Every day I thought of it. Every day I drive this piece of shit S10 truck and just think I was in a Mercedes. And I envisioned myself having a Mercedes, having Gucci, having big money. And I became obsessed with it. It was the most dominating thought in my mind. All I wanted was to have all of that, to be a kingpin. And I just became obsessed with the idea. Well, what happened was a friend, because when your mind starts to focus in on a goal, it'll start to pick things out of the environment, that are relevant to your goal. So actually I had a friend in Las Vegas. So I, ended up contacting him, asking him how much oxys went out there. And he was telling me that they went for way less. He was telling me that he could get them for $20. And out here you're selling wholesale for 40. You could sell 1,000 of them at $40. So that's a double up. I'm like, holy shit. Damn. That's how much you're getting them for out there. So I shot out there, grabbed a couple of them, just to make sure it was cool. He wasn't lying. This shit was real. He could get them for that price out there. And ever since then, man, it was on. I fucking grabbed some, went back out, sold it, hopped back on a plane, did that shit as many times I could in a week to get my money up, shooting back and forth to Vegas, buying packs, coming back out here, wholesale, going back, I started stacking my money. And after a while, a couple months of doing that shit, I was able to fucking get that Benz that I wanted. I got the S-Class. I picked that up. That was my first trophy, so I was on top of the world at that point. I was the fucking man, and I'm only 22 years old, touching big money, and that's when I figured out, like, it was a change. It was a whole change. I realized the money in drugs isn't sitting there answering a phone, dropping off sacks all day. That's not where the money's at. The money is in transporting, taking this and moving it over here, because that's where the risk is. You got to work in the logistics. The movement of the drugs is where the money's made. So, actually, as time went on, I kind of started developing a sophisticated network. I had people out there buying up pills from the people that were going and getting them from the doctors. I had people that were transporting it up here to Washington. And then I had the distribution network up here in Washington. So I put together a pretty good organization. Yeah. And as time went on, it just started snowballing. It went from something little to something big, to where after I had got caught, the prices immediately jumped up in my city. And that let me know how much pills I was actually bringing in. I had actually had an effect on the supply and demand of the market. As soon as I stopped bringing in all them pills, the price shot up $5. So I was like, oh shit, I really had, like, I was really doing something. I didn't know that, that I was really doing that much, So, in the crazy thing was, well, I started this was actually part of, my downfall, is I started popping the pills. You know, of course, I broke the cardinal rule. You know,
Get high on your own supply.
yeah, I broke the rule. And at the time, I started just popping them. You know, popping them, went to sniffing them, went to smoking them. And by the time I was smoking them, I became totally self-destructive. And by the time that, you know, it just started falling apart, I started getting sloppy. You know, I started kind of losing my way. I stopped being so focused and so on top of my game. And that led to me actually getting arrested and catching a federal charge. Uh,
And
yeah, you know, it always happens. An informant set one of my friends up, boom, got me, and
yeah,
that's much that. But the reason why I said I was sloppy is because I would never keep the pills at my house, at my residence. You know, I'd always have like a storage unit or something that I would take the pills to. Well, I started getting sloppy. I was like, man, I'll go take. I had a couple. I had about 1,200 pills at the house. I'm like, man, then I'll take that to the storage unit later. You know what I'm saying? But that 1,200 pills, if I took it to a storage unit, I wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But I believe everything happens for a reason, and that happened so that I could become the person that I am today.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah, I believe that too. I believe it so much. Like when I was 21, I got the thing blasted from King Solomon, the Old Testament,
Mhm.
Ecclesiastes. It's the time and season for everything. I know. I
Yeah,
feel you. I feel you, brother. So damn.
everything.
So I want to ask you, during this time that you were organizing all that money as at a very very young age, to where others are more focused like me into like violence or nonsense, but you were focused on the money. Did you had some role models or big homies from, or were you in the gang also, or
No,
they were
I
hustlers?
never got involved in gang life, but yeah, I had people that I looked up to that, it was all my friends, everybody. You know what I'm saying? My whole life was involved in street life. You know, I had friends that were pimps, I had friends that were jaggers, I had friends that were gangbangers. It was just a lifestyle. You know what I mean? But my identifier was a hustler. You know what I mean? You
Yes
know, in the
sir,
street,
yes sir.
jackers, you got hustlers, you got pimps, you got gangbangers, you got killers. I was a hustler, you know. So
And that's right, that's right. So bam, so fast forward, man. uh you got caught up, it slowed you down. Now you found yourself sitting in a freaking cell in the feds, man. What gave you that vision? What did you envision that you were gonna do after this time wasted? How you gonna utilize that time in the
well,
future when you get out?
so that's what I was saying. So something, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And something that successful people do is they know that when one door closes, another one opens. It's all about perspective. So when I went to prison, I actually told myself this. This is like a boot camp. No other time in your life will you have 5 uninterrupted years to focus on yourself and invest in yourself. Never. I didn't have no women to bother me, no cell phone, no nothing. It was just me in prison and time for me to focus on myself. And that's exactly what I did. I started just thinking about different ways to make money. And I first started, I knew that, like on the streets, you have to learn the street game. There's games where you got to know how to dodge the jackers, you got to know how to dodge the police. You got to stay away from the suckers. And in the legal world, there's also a game that you had to learn. So when I was in prison, I decided to learn the legal game. But the first thing that I started doing so that I could start working on myself was I started working out. And I still work out today. And if you're
Right.
looking to improve yourself, the best thing that you can do today to start that improvement is to start working out. You'll start to see your body change. You'll start to feel more confident. Every day you go hit that workout and you complete it is a small battle won. So I just got, on the burpees, the pull ups, and, I just started getting on the workout, and started slowly improving. I went from a skinny, smoked out dude because by the time I went to prison, I had become all the way self destructive. I was smoked out, 130 pounds. I couldn't even do a push up, couldn't even do a pull up.
Yeah.
So started slowly changing, and I started feeling stronger and more confident. So I started, things started brightening up for me. So I started, and
And
another thing that I did too was I read. I read, man, you can ask anybody that was in the feds. I stayed reading. I
so
stayed in the books reading. Now, if anybody's looking to build a financial empire, number one books to read is Think and Grow Rich and Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad. Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad. In any of the Rich Dad series, read those books. Those it right there will tell you exactly how to get rich.
So obviously you weren't reading no Hunger Games or any of that
No,
fiction.
man.
Game
That's
of
a waste of
Thrones.
time. No hood books. You know, people used to read the hood books, and I didn't watch TV, none of that, man, because I had a vision. I had a goal, and I wanted that goal more than anything else. I wanted that goal more than I wanted to breathe. That's how bad I wanted it. I wanted it so bad.
Damn, bro. Hey, this is exciting, man. So, bam. Okay. People don't realize how slow time goes by when you don't have nothing in the pen or sitting by yourself, especially when your ad seg in the hole or whatever. So you did your time. And so let's talk about what were the transitions when you got out? Like, what are the first steps you did into building your own empire right now?
So the thing that I did while I was in prison was, like I said, when you have a goal, you're always thinking about it and you're pulling things out from your environment. So as I was reading a Maxim magazine one day, I was reading about a certain product. I thought to myself, like, you know what? I bet you I could get this product from China and sell it. So I wrote it down in my idea book. I had an idea book of all the business ideas I had to what I could do when I got out. So, you know, when I got out, mind you, I read hundreds of books while I was in there, you know, about investing. I learned finance. I became a financial guru, understood all types of investments, all types of assets, everything. I knew so I could learn how to play the game. So when I got out, I think about 2 days, I started research. The second day out, I started researching all my business ideas. And that one business idea that I had written down ended up being my first $1 million business. And I think 4 days out of prison, I had sourced the product. I had talked a few of my friends into letting me get a loan to start my business. And I had ordered some inventory 4 days out of prison. I had that goal. Nothing else to me mattered. I didn't care about being with no women. I didn't care about none of that. No, that's not important right now. My goal is important. You know.
And so you took risk, calculated risk, because you very envisioned it. Did you?
I mean, the risk in business is nothing compared to the risk you play in the drug game. The risk you play in the drug game in business, you just lose your money. You go bankrupt. In the drug game, you can get killed or end up in prison and lose your money. So you're playing with much more risk. So the risk in the business world was nothing to me. I could sleep at night. You know, this is no risk. You know, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to lose my money and I'm going to go back at it and do it again.
And that's the good ass mindset that if you're looking at, people really need to hear that, man, because sometimes they want to make it a reason, but I don't know how to do the other one. I just know how to do this, and you're showing them that you can easily do it, man. Just pick up a freaking book, and it's connected also. When you said workout, you started by disciplining a workout.
Discipline, self-discipline, yes.
Yeah, mind, body, soul is connected, man.
You have to conquer yourself before you can conquer anything else. Once you know how to control your own mind, you can control everything else in your world. And it's about learning how to do that. And that's something that I learned in prison. I had fasted for 3 days. I was doing all types of crazy shit to see how much I can actually discipline myself. And all that self-discipline, came in handy. And another thing too is, when I got out, I had become a millionaire rather quickly, quickly than most people were able to become millionaires. Some people work their whole lives to do it. And I did it in about 2 years. So people say, man, how'd you do it so fast? I didn't do it fast. It wasn't fast at all. I spent 5 years in prison preparing myself, arming myself with the knowledge so that I could execute on my plan. So it wasn't fast because I had sat there and studied for 5 years to execute on my plan, to arm myself with the knowledge to do this. It's all about applied knowledge, not just knowledge, but applied knowledge.
That's right. Same thing they say in martial arts: application, application, application.
You can know everything.
Yeah,
you can know everything, but it's about applying what you know and executing it. You have a analysis paralysis. People that just analyze all day but never take the step to do it. It's just about taking action. Get out there and take action. Think of your plan, think of your vision, and take action. And something that I actually wrote, like something that I learned in Think and Grow Rich, was that you need to write your goal down. You need to become obsessed with your goal, and you need to read it every day. So right here, I have my goal written down on this index card here.
Is
I
that the
read
new
this
one
every
or
single day. This is my old one that I
the
wrote in
old
prison.
one?
I
Oh,
wrote this July 22nd, 2016. And I said, by 2023, in the month of January at age 35, I will have a passive income of $1 million a year. This money will come to me through the ownership of income producing real estate and cash flowing businesses. This passive income will enable me to become an investor. And I signed it, dated it, and timed it. Well, I'd already reached this goal in 2019. I'd reached it. So I'd beat
yeah,
it about 4 years.
3 years in advance. Yeah, 4 years in advance. That's crazy, man.
4 years in
T-
advance.
Tell us about your new index card that you wrote outside prison.
So this is 4/18/2020, 10:10 a.m. By January 1st, 2023, I will have businesses and income streams that will generate 30 million or more annually. This revenue will come to me through starting/acquiring income streams. This goal will allow me to live a life of extreme abundance.
All right, fuck, that made me cuss. To those still skeptical or doubting the law of attraction, this is the guy right here making it happen in real life, man.
Yeah, there's a lot it's about once your mind has to be rewired to attract wealth. You have to think a certain way. You have to change the way you think. Like certain things, you can't dwell on losses. That's just for one example. Say you mess up, say you fail, say you lose some money. Don't dwell on it. Move forward. Don't think about it. It's a setback, but just keep pushing forward. That's just one thing. And just changing your perspective on the way that you look at things. In everything, there's a silver lining. There's something good in everything. It's just changing your perspective to find that. Me going to prison was the best thing in my life. The best. My mom, she's Filipino. So, the kid, she was embarrassed to talk about me to her family. You know what I mean? She's like, damn, my son's a fuck up. They got some of my cousins are doctors and she was just embarrassed that I was in prison. But when I got out, I'd given her something for her to be proud of. Now she can't stop bragging about me to her family.
That's right, buddy. Yeah, yeah.
She loves it. She can't stop talking, and then she just, it made her really proud because it's important. Filipinos talk about what their kids doing, and they're always talking. Your aunts are always talking about everything. Your titas.
Yeah. What did they say about your tattoos, real quick? 'Cause I can relate. I got tattoos also.
No, my mom was pissed about them
Yeah.
when I got them in prison. But I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
like I said, like everything is funny because you could, you could be a fuck up your entire life, but once you could do one thing right, turn it around, and all of a sudden be a sudden success, and none of that matters. Oh, you saw my mom's like, sure, my son got prison tattoos, but guess what? He's got more money than any of us. He's the richest one in our family, So it's all like it doesn't matter anymore. It's not about what's in the past. It's about the future and where you're going.
All right, buddy. Hey, bro, I really appreciate your time. But before I let you go, would you like to say any last words to the young ones or people that are going through it right now
Yeah,
and wants to succeed in life also?
It's definitely like it's not over with. It's not over. This is just a minor setback that you can come back bigger, stronger, and better. And guess what? When you do come back and you are a success from coming from such a low, your story is the best because you got it out the mud. You came from nothing and came and turned into something. And that just proves your resilience, your strength, and your determination more than anything else. So you have the ability to write your own story. So write your story and live it.
Yeah, about it. Word. Hey, thank you, brother. Like I said, man, I know it's nighttime over there. I know you're a busy dude, man. You guys enjoy the rest of the night over there, man. I appreciate it. And stay in touch. You know what I mean? And with that being said, say what you mean and mean what you say, because real recognize real, homeboy. I'm out of here. Look it up.